Hi everyone, this is Jadu from Property Frameworks Buyers Agency, and today I want to talk about why you should be open to investing in any location in Australia. So let's say you have a borrowing capacity of around 600k. Now, because of tight lending restrictions, your borrowing capacity may have been significantly reduced, and you have about 600k for an investment property. So you might think that 600k is not much and you don't have much to invest in a property. Or you might think, okay, I live in Sydney, let's buy an apartment in Sydney. Let me tell you why both of these are wrong. 600k is more than enough for you to invest in property in Australia in good locations. Number two, do not buy an apartment in Sydney because as I've mentioned in previous videos, apartments perform poorly in the long run and you will not get the returns on your money. So always invest in houses. So you have 600k and you could invest in anywhere around Australia. So why should you do that? Why should you be open to investing anywhere around Australia? So the first point is something to do with the Australian property market. So at any given time, there's always one market or a few markets in Australia that's always in its rising cycle. So the media is currently saying that property prices are plunging, everything is falling. But when you look deeply, you know that there are markets out there in Australia that are on their rising cycle, that are having increasing demand. Property prices are starting to slowly move upwards. So you have an opportunity to buy in these markets. So when you buy in these markets, you can make quick equity. And that could be easily like $100,000. And that's a significant amount of money that you could use to put into another property. So that is why you should be open to interstate investing, to take advantages of market conditions in a different area. Point number two, there are several areas in Australia that are undervalued. So what does it mean when I say undervalued? It means that when you compare the incomes to the people living in that area and their mortgage repayments, they are very, very comfortable with the mortgage repayments. Which means that even with higher interest rate rises, they are very comfortable with their repayments. So which means that there's room for property prices to increase further. So we could target these kind of areas, undervalued, affordable areas that have room to increase in value even with rising interest rates. Now we're not just going to go into any random undervalued area. We want to see if it has a good economy, there's good job growth, there's low unemployment level, there's strong population forecast. So these are the areas that we're going into. So that's a second reason. You could target these areas, especially in this high interest rate environment, that's where you should be looking. Okay, the next point is that most people are under the perception that areas outside of the capital cities don't really do too well. But if you look at this latest report from CoreLogic, top 10 SFO markets with the highest growth in dwelling values since March 2020, you can see regional South Australia, Greater Adelaide, regional NSW, regional Queensland, regional NSW again, and regional Tasmania. More than 40% growth. Some areas have grown even 50% more. And this is the top 10. And do you see any capital city like Sydney or Melbourne there? So there are other areas out there. Now, I'm not saying that you should buy in these areas specifically. But what I'm letting you know is that there are options out there. There are always options out there where you can invest and make a lot of money. Okay, and the last reason that I hear and the worry that I hear from people is that when you invest outside, you can't see the property, you have no control over the property. And what I want to let you guys know is that the property is being managed by a property manager. They are the experts. They know what to do with the property. They know what kind of maintenance which needs to be done. They know how to handle the tenant. They are the experts. You don't have to do anything. even if you bought a property in Sydney, you wouldn't want to manage it yourself. There's a property manager who would do all this. So when it comes to interstate investing, you don't necessarily have to see the property or feel that you need to have good control over the property. There is a property manager who's handling everything for you. So you don't have to worry about anything. There's somebody who's looking after the property for you. So you guys, I hope that this gives you, some insight about interstate investing, the opportunities out there. And right now, at this very moment, there is a lot of opportunity out there to invest interstate. So I hope you can make use of this opportunity.